I'll keep it short. So last Sunday, for those of you who were here, we did something different than we've never done at St. John's before. Rather than have a Christmas pageant, we prayed the Stations of the Nativity, which is the Christmas story. We started out with the first station, which was the angel coming to Zechariah in the temple and telling him about the coming birth of John the Baptist, and then the Annunciation to the Virgin Mary, Mary going to see Elizabeth, and then down the line to Jesus' birth and the angels coming to see the birth, and then ending with the Magi coming, and then the flight to Egypt, and then coming back to Nazareth. We called that the Christmas story. But in a sense, that's like if you turn on your TV and you see a movie you like, but it's already 1 hour into the movie, but you watch it anyway. Because the Christmas story is not just that little bit that we hear from Matthew and Luke in the beginning about Jesus' birth and nativity and so on. The Christmas story really begins from the fall, which we heard this evening, all the way through the birth, and then to Jesus dying on a cross, and then eventually we go from the Garden of Eden back to a new garden and a new heaven and an earth. What this is the whole Bible is God's plan of salvation for us. The lessons and carols are a reminder of us of that expansive plan that is throughout the whole Bible. We heard in that last little bit in Paul's letter to the Philippians that Christ humbled himself and became one of us, became human, and then was obedient and died on the cross for our salvation. The Christmas story is not just about a baby being born in Bethlehem, but the Son of God enacting the plan of our salvation. Unfortunately, we had to do a funeral this past week, and one of the kind of, gifts that came out of that was this beautiful wreath. And it has lilies in it. And I don't know how good your sense of smell is, but I smell the lilies. I smell the Easter lilies. The smell reminds me of Easter. And I think how appropriate that is for us to have those Easter lilies here at Christmas time. Because I'm remembering for those of you who have ever been to the Easter Vigil and heard Beth sing the Exultet, that in that is some very powerful words that are emphasized. It says, "How wonderful and beyond our knowing, O God, is your mercy and loving kindness to us, that to redeem a slave, you gave a son. A son to be born for us, a son to die on the cross for us. To experience the full human nature Jesus had to begin as a child, a vulnerable newborn child, to experience life without sin, unlike somebody like Michael over here or myself, who are constantly sinning every day and who need that salvation. As we open up whatever presents we're going to get from Christmas, let us remember that the best and greatest gift that we could have ever got is Jesus Christ. Not only his birth, but his dying on the cross for our forgiveness and our salvation, but also for the love that he gives us, which is God's love to us. And we feel that love, hopefully, more than ever on this Christmas. Amen.
Amen.